Hello, this is Karla Aleman. I'm your course instructor for LSIM 101, and I'm here today to give you a very brief introduction to the Blackboard course shell that we will actually be using. When you first enter the course, you have our announcements. I don't have any posted at the moment, but I probably will when you first enter the course. Periodically, I will send announcements out to you, perhaps reminders about assignments and that sort of thing. The Blackboard course shell really looks a lot like most of the other Blackboard course shells you've probably encountered. We have syllabus information, faculty information, which will provide all of my contact info. I also have, in particular, links to our weekly units. This is where most of your actual studying and exercises and activities will take place. For example, I'm going to jump into week 2. And this is what a standard weekly unit will look like. Over here we have a table of contents for the different pages that you will need to work through. You can either click on a particular page here to move forward, or you have these buttons over here to page through. Do be aware though that not only do I have course content and videos and items for you to read in these weekly units, I also have your assignments. For example, here is the page that includes directions and attachments, as well as the place where you will attach files and submit them to me as your projects or as your assignments. So do be aware that if you actually want to know what assignments and what items you need to actually look for, then you will actually need to jump into the weekly units and work through them. I do want to point out, there's an example here in week 1, that sometimes the assignments will present themselves as a pop-up window. For example, here we have a pop-up for a questionnaire. For this particular item, it's just a quick questionnaire, and you can begin it and work through the questionnaire on this particular window, but if you have your pop-up windows blocked, you may get an error message. So do be aware that some items will need to pop open in that way. When you're done, you can simply click here and return to the learning unit. And again, you can just start paging through the rest of the items here. I have information on your final project. We don't have very much time in this course, only about 8 weeks to complete everything. So here is all of the items that you really need to get started and start looking at what the final project is, examples, etc., etc. We also have a link to the MSU Library. Obviously, this is a research course in which you'll be using library material quite a lot. Under the link for MSU Library, you have an option to jump directly into a database. Now, we are not actually going to use this very often because I want everyone to have a better idea about what's happening at the library. And I know many of you may not be as familiar with our resources, so until you are, most of the directions I give you will push you to go to the library homepage. Here is a link. Pressing on that button will actually present another pop-up for you, which is the library homepage. When you're on any part of the university's new website design, you notice up here is our link to the library, so you always know how to get back to the library homepage. I'm going to close this window again and return to Blackboard. When you're on this page, if you click over here on the course info, we will return to our specific Blackboard course shell. The last thing I want to point out over here is a list of all of the learning units that are open and available to you. Over here it only says week 1, week 2, but if you look under all units, I actually try to provide a little bit more information about what is inside and what we did that week. So if we are further along in the course and you need to remember or jump into one of the older weeks but you're not certain which one to go to, this is one way to jump in and find out which week you're looking for. And oh, one last thing, I do believe your grades should be down here under your control panel. So hopefully that covers everything that is part of this Blackboard course. If you have any questions, of course, please feel free to contact me. Again, my information is here under faculty info. You can either call or email. Or, of course, if you're in the Moorhead area, you can always stop by the library to see me. So in the future, I will sometimes create videos for different learning units to give you an introduction about what's going on during the week. I won't always do that. And hopefully in the future I will actually have a better microphone so that it isn't always as poor of a sound quality as you're getting this first week. Welcome to LSIM.